Bonjour! Today we're going to look at the passive voice. If you need to write an article in French or you're preparing for a French exam, this video is definitely for you. Vous êtes prêts? C'est parti! So far, on French action, we have used the active voice. Someone is doing something. With the passive voice, it's going to be a different structure. We're going to have something is being done by someone. For example, un homme a été retrouvé mort à la suite d'une fusillade au centre-ville. A man was found dead following a shooting in the town center. So this is a passive voice, which you're going to find very often in newspapers, big headlines. Why do we use the passive voice? Very often it is used because we don't know who did the action, and really the focus is on the action and not on the person. For example, if I say la réunion a été annulée hier soir, which means the meeting was cancelled yesterday evening, it doesn't really matter who cancelled the meeting, but it's the fact that it is cancelled and you shouldn't attend it. Let's look at the structure of the passive. La souris mange le fromage. This is active. The mouse is eating the cheese. Now, let's put this into the passive. Where we had le fromage is going to be at the beginning of the sentence, and we're going to have le fromage est mangé par la souris. So what happens here? We're going to have the present tense of to be, which is est, and then the past participle of the verb, obviously, you need to use. And then followed by par, which means by. Le fromage est mangé par la souris. The cheese is being eaten by the mouse. So you have être at any tense, followed by the past participle, which is then followed by par and the name of the person. Okay? So if I have la dent a été arrachée par le dentiste, it means the tooth was pulled out by the dentist. So here I have used the past tense. That's why I have a été, which is the past tense of être, and then the past participle. So I remind you as well that with the past participle, with être, you always have your agreement. So this rule still stands. A quick reminder of the tenses, the main ones, the present, past, and future. What you have to do is really look at your to be form and change it according to the tense. So, for example, here I have il est transporté à l'hôpital. He is being taken to the hospital. That is present. Past tense, il a été transporté à l'hôpital. He was taken to the hospital. Or he has been taken to the hospital. And for the future, il sera transporté à l'hôpital. He will be taken to the hospital. And please remember that if the sentence started with elle, each time you will have to add an extra i to transporter because elle is a female. Attention, be careful. The passive voice only works with transitive verbs in French. Transitives meaning direct. It means that the verb can only take a direct object. So you remember the sentence with the mouse. The mouse is eating the cheese. The mouse is eating what? Cheese. The cheese. All right. So that means that the verb is directly placed before cheese, which is our object. Now, if you say she is talking to Paul, Paul is not directly placed after speaking because we have the preposition to. She's speaking to Paul. To makes your verb indirect. So you have to be very careful. So the only way we can get around it is not to be using the passive, but to use on. I was told would be on m'a dit. We were told on nous a dit. I was spoken to, on m'a parlé, etc. Are you ready for this little exercise? C'est parti! So here is a little story. All the verbs are in brackets and you need to change the active form to the passive form. Okay? So hier soir, il y a eu une explosion. 2 immeubles, des centaines de personnes, sous les décombres. Elle, et elle, à l'hôpital. Les voitures du parking, une fuite de gaz, comme étant la cause de l'explosion. Voici les réponses. Hier soir, il y a eu une explosion. 2 immeubles ont été détruits. So here you need to remember that détruit will have an S because we're talking about 2 buildings which were destroyed. Des centaines de personnes ont été retrouvées sous les décombres. Here again, we have retrouvé with an extra E and an extra S because we're talking about hundreds of people, but the word personne in French is feminine. Therefore, you're going to have to use the E. Elles ont été blessées et elles ont été transportées à l'hôpital. Les voitures du parking ont été endommagées. I remind you that voiture is a feminine word, therefore endommagé would have that extra E. Une fuite de gaz a été déclarée comme étant la cause de l'explosion. So, fuite de gaz, fuite is a leak, so the gas leak, okay, déclaré will have an extra E. That's it for me. I hope you managed to do that exercise. If you got everything correct, then a big bravo, because it's not quite an easy thing to do, but you need to practice. So practice makes perfect. So I see you in the next video, and please don't forget to like it if you enjoyed it. Au revoir!